Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Nazos Circus. Today I have two guests. First guest is Jenny Okafor, who is my friend, my sister, my fellow lawyer. Jenny, say hello to everyone.
Hi, everybody. Thanks again for inviting me, Chinazo, sorry.
The next guest is Duchess Iphie. I'm going to call you Iphie because that Duchess is making me feel estranged from you. So, Iphie, say hello.
Hi, everyone. This is what happens when they don't recognize royalty.
So today we're discussing relationships. Iphie, you're a sex, intimacy, and relationship coach. So we've done previous episodes, we've done sex, we've done intimacy. Today we're talking about relationships. And obviously our audience is mostly, well, it's not mostly, but a large majority of older African, possibly Nigerian ladies. Mm-hmm. And today we are talking about relationships and as we get older, whether we settle or reshuffle our priorities when looking for a partner. And I think the first thing I want to ask is there a difference between settling and reshuffling priorities when looking for a partner in this our old age or older age? Let me not say old, we're not old yet. Iphie, I think you should start. Stop trying to dodge. I think you should start. Is there a difference?
Is there a difference? Settling. In my opinion, English would say there's a difference. But I think in relationships, no, there's a difference. Because I think if you're saying you're settling, that means that the things that you're giving up things that are important to you. You're giving up things that you consider a non-negotiable. However, but if you're reprioritizing, you're now stating that what used to be important to you may not be as important, but you've identified it and said, actually, it's not as important, and other things are now more important, and therefore, when I'm looking for a mate, I'm going to look at those things. So that's how I would say.
That's very interesting. I like how you broke it down because, settling kind of suggests that you're giving up things, whereas reshuffling, those things may still be there, but just not on the higher. Jenny, what do you think?
Well, I mean, generally, when we say that somebody has settled down, that means that they are married. They're in a subsisting relationship, and we expect them to have given up a lot of things just to be with one person. And that is where their new life starts as married or a cohabiting partner or something. Children will come in, and she's now that person is working in partnership with somebody else, so they have settled down. So to me, naturally, I don't think that it involves giving up things that are important to us. It involves giving up friendship and relationship with other people who could possibly settle down with us. We have now settled with one person. And then when we talk about reshuffling, that's a very important one because I realize that very often some people get to a stage in their lives where they begin to look at things that really matter to them in the past, things they prioritize as, if this is not there, I'm not interested. They begin to reshuffle and saying, okay, fair enough. I've held very dearly to these principles and requirements, attributes, but are they really realistic? You're now older. You're beginning to say, oh, they're not realistic. Okay. Like someone says, oh, I'd like a 6'2" man.
Hunk of a guy.
Yeah, he must have car, he must have a home and all of that. But you're now realizing that those things are not really the prerequisite for enduring relationships. You can now see that those are things that matter to young people. You have your own money, you have your own means, and you're now looking for the heart, not the looks.
Okay,
you have realized, so you can reshuffle and say, look, I'm no longer looking for a 6'2" or 5.9 or something. I just need somebody who loves me, understands me where I am, and can meet me mentally, emotionally, and physically.
I think for me, just thinking about listening to you, I'm just wondering, this as your reason for reshuffling, could it not be because I think there's a thin line between this reshuffling and settling? Because is your reason for reshuffling could it not be because you're now settling for what you're left with? What you've been presented. What? No. I'm just thinking. You know, this is not scripted, right? So we're just. I'm just talking as I'm you know, because if 5 years ago you were like adamant that, you know what, I want a man that has A, B, C, and D, or let's even say 10 years ago, you now hit 50, right? And that man has not appeared. Your mindset could be like, you know what, I'll just settle for what I want. You kind of force yourself. You could maybe be forcing yourself to bring down, to reprioritize.
Well, I don't see it that way. I think it's just like we say when we were young, I'm looking for a Prince Charming. And the Prince Charming we know is a prince in armor and dress, But then during this period, maybe the past 15 years, you've dated them. The Prince Charming may not have A, and the one that is not a Prince Charming may have B, and all of that. So you now begin to put together what really matters, what is most important to you. So you put your priorities, you get your list and say, no, this is what really matters. For instance, at this stage, if I'm still single, looking for a husband and young, in my 50s, I'll say that I need a man who can actually raise a child, adopted or ours, with me. And if I'm not there, he's going to be able to look after this child or children. I also need someone who would actually understand me for who I am, who would be prepared to tolerate me, bring in income, enough for us to have roof over our head and retire without troubles and all of that. But in those days, they were not necessary. I might have actually thought, oh, his father is rich, so I can go and live with them, not knowing that I'm not married to the family, I'm married to this man. So it's a question of learning. You've seen a lot of things.
So
now you're able to say, look, reshuffle and say, this is important, this is not important.
So life lessons have made you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it also depends, and I think it also depends on why you're going into a relationship.
Yep.
Because think about it this way, like, the conversation we're having offline. If you think about it, so now let me use myself an example. So now I have 2 children who are grown. Not on the face of the plan, I won't make born another child. I don't want to be small mommy. I don't change nappy. So, but if I'm if I'm this age and I don't have a child, and I'm that way inclined that I want to be in a marriage or serious relationship in order to have a child, I might settle for a man who just has a working apparatus. Who also wants a child too, because that is actually my ultimate goal.
True.
It's not really about companionship or thinking about retirement. It's literally that's the goal. So any man will do. But now that I'm older, my children are grown, and I'm saying actually I want to be in a relationship with someone for companionship to plan the next stage of our lives, and the fact that I want a partner in crime, I want someone who I can travel with, someone who has the ability to be able to travel as well, because they're not being held back by certain responsibilities. That's reprioritization.
Yes.
Because I don't have to settle in that.
Reshuffling and rescheduling.
My priorities is I want a partner in crime, literally, and in all things. So that's what I'm looking for. So I have no reason to settle for anything less than that. Because I'm not looking for anything else in the scheme of it. But if I was looking for a child now, short, if a 20-year-old kid himself,
you would,
we're going to welcome you, because my need is different. And I think that as we're going older, depending on how we are settled in our lives, we determine we decide whether we are going to settle
or prioritize. Yeah, true. True.
And accept that we just might not be with someone because we're still looking for that 6'4" man, knowing that God is not making tall men anymore.
Who says?
Depends on your height now. If you're 5'4",
the tall ones,
True.
just like the beautiful ones.
True.
I was
just thinking about as you were talking, I was just thinking about what you're saying, and you're so right, because, like you said, it depends on how your journey through life and what you've been through and where you find yourself. That will determine whether, And you're right. If you have like a purpose and your pool is very tiny, you will find at that point any man is fit for purpose for that, So yeah.
Because it's hard.
I sincerely believe that although some of us want the best out of everything when they're going into a relationship, something my dad told me was that you can't have 100% of what you want in a man or a woman. If you have it, it is not real. Relationships are supposed to be built on compromise. So when you're going into a relationship, look for someone who has 50% of what you want. That person also sees 50% of what he wants in you. Then both of you will have to work on the other 50% to create what suits both of you.
Yeah.
But if you keep saying, oh, this is what I want, this is what I want, it won't work. You know, so I think it's one of those things as well, because as you get older, you begin to think, oh, okay, right. You know, I was expecting this, but having been around, I know that this is not available. You know, you can be tall and handsome and rich as well. You can be short, ugly and poor as well. Anything could happen. So you have to be more open-minded and then, you know, choose what you can afford and what you like, what would actually complement your life.
So as we get older, do you think that and this is moving away from this whole settling thing, as we get older, is it now easier for us to find what we, you know, for us to, how do I put it? The pool is very small as we've gotten older, right? But because we know what we want, is it now easier for us to find our partners because we're older, we know what we want? Is it easier? Is it more difficult as we've gotten older in your experience?
Let's ask you.
Why are you asking? Oh, no. Why are you?
It's a conversation. Let's ask you.
I think for me, no, I don't think it's. I think it's easier for me because I feel I know what I want. I want a companion.
But is the companion pool big?
Oh no, the companion pool is not big. The pool is The pool is not big.
So technically, I
But
think
it's easier for me. I didn't struggle even with a small pool because I knew what I wanted. Like when you're much younger, you're dabbling all over. Because I knew what I wanted. I wanted a companion, and that was all I was looking for. And that meant finding someone that was not attached.
Yep, that's very important to me.
So that was all I was.
So that was okay. So are you saying that was your only criteria?
Yeah, that was my main criteria.
So okay, so someone who's unattached doesn't necessarily mean that they're your companion, though. Sure, you know.
No, but that's the starting. But that's the
That's
starting
a starting
point. You have to
point,
first of all be unattached for me to even for us to
I
even
hear-
be going
and
into that.
I hear that. I suppose the reason why I'm asking that question is because sometimes we can be so fixed in what we want that we don't give room for people who don't meet what we want. Like as you were saying about the 50%. Yes, I know now what I want more than I did in my 20s, even though I made a sharp decision in my 20s. But, you know, I know more, but that means that I'm actually, for me, I'm a bit pickier than I was then, than I was in my younger
I think it
days.
depends on what you're looking for. If what you're looking for is companionship, well, for me, my main thing was my starting point. Let me not say that it was my sole thing, but my starting point was the person had to be available. So that was my first question when I was meeting people. Whereas before, I didn't necessarily have to ask that immediately. That wasn't really my...
If he's after me,
That
he must be available.
We'll be talking first of all, and then I can now be asking you questions. For me, it was important for me to know whether, if you're not single, or I'm not even just single, if you're not available, because some people are single, but they're still wanting to be messing around.
Are you single?
So that was what I was like. That was for me. So it was easier for me because I think I had things narrowed down. Let me put it that way. I had things narrowed down. I wasn't looking for someone that, oh, you have this or you have that. I kind of knew, okay, this is what I want. I've come into my own self.
So then that means that it was for you, it was easier to eliminate than it was to actually find.
Yes. Yeah, you can put it that way. Yeah.
You're eliminating, then you know you're going for the zone. Because without castigating menses, on our story gets key legs sometimes. Your story can have key legs sometimes.
Yeah.
So you are forced to ask those questions up front now and say, clarify you're available.
Yeah. It was easier to eliminate, but
it's okay.
Yeah.
As once you said, we are separated but still live in the same house. But it's not you.
There's already key legs.
You're already going, you know, that kind of thing. So I think, I'm wondering if we're saying that it was easier to eliminate because you know what you want. Because the pool, I mean, our age mate guys are also transitioning as well in their relationships. That's true. And guys don't naturally stay as single as we do. You know, they can dabble in many things at any given time. So I'm wondering if you now knowing more made you easier to say, okay, you know what, I'm laser focused. I eliminate, don't waste my time. Don't.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's something that we don't even do a lot, and that's how we then fall into certain
into all types of
because you're just like, oh, we want somebody.
True. Yeah.
I think what you're saying is right, because going back to reshuffling, we are now at that stage where we have actually narrowed down to what is important to us. I see, Chinazo, you're looking for somebody who is not attached because your peace of mind is very important to you. You're not prepared for arguments
In this old age.
In this old age, and that's exactly me. So once I meet somebody and they start talking to me, the first question is, are you married? And if you're married, it's a goodbye. I don't even want to know why, you have to step aside out because maybe you're not getting along and you're considering divorce.
Because there'll always be a story.
There's a story. So I always say to guys, look, you go and get your divorce, and if you come back and I'm still here, we can talk about it again. But right now, I'm not available. Simple. And I have also, I came to the stage that I've accepted that I will find it difficult to be in a relationship. I like my own company. I enjoy being with myself, reading, writing, having a chat on social media with people, having a laugh. But I don't like the attachment because I realize that where I am now, I have two classes of people that are interested in me. Very old people.
Papalolos.
Yes, and very young people. And the very old are those people who have actually made it in life, and they believe that, okay, well, I can have her. Somebody said to me, I can see your high maintenance, but I can afford you.
Hey.
So clearly there's no emotional attachment there. It was just like, okay, she's an asset. I must acquire her.
Yeah.
Right. And then I have younger ones who want to go and dance party. I haven't got the energy. I want to be in my bed. And I'm
You're not that old. Stop it.
And I'm not prepared to be, because when they say, oh, let's go dance nightclub and one or two times and you say no.
Why not dance?
Yeah,
Why not dance?
let's go and dance nightclub.
Why not dance nightclub?
That's how we say it. We are going for a dance.
Jenny, we don't use that phrase anymore.
You can see why you would work with them because they'll probably say, oh, this is an auntie. I'm probably talking to my auntie.
But let's go for a dance.
Let's go for a dance here. We're going clubbing and all of that. I'm probably saying, what is that? We have a joke, with some of my friends. We say that you need to be very careful. Don't go and bring a guy or a woman who, when you want to enjoy Osadebe, they want to dance Michael Jackson. It's not going to work. So I came to that point where I realized, look, Jenny, you're out of the bucket because what you want is not there. Mind your own business. Be friends with everybody, and I'm happy.
Yeah. No.
Well, you can't say it's not there. You never know.
Yeah,
You can't rule it. You can't rule it out totally.
yeah. And like I have this thing about just making sure that I have peace of mind. I don't like when guys are not straightforward and telling me exactly what I want to hear. So like you, I know what I want and I ask the right questions. I asked a guy and he said to me, "Are you a lawyer?" I said, "Why?" "Because you're asking so many lawyer questions." So he didn't.
Red flags already up.
Yeah.
He didn't want to answer questions.
Yeah, he said so. I'd rather not answer that question. So I said no. I just wanted to know so that you've asked me, I answered. You need to know who you're talking to. I don't want any troubles. It took him time, and then he kept coming back to me and saying, "Oh, you asked so many questions." And eventually he says, "I worked out you're a lawyer. That's why you're asking so many questions. If you're going to walk into a relationship with your lawyer hat, it's not going to work for you."
Oh dear.
I said, "Okay, fine." And that was it. So I said, "Look, you're a friend. We can have a laugh and then you go your way, but there's no relationship." Yeah. So it's a question of prioritizing and then knowing what is important to you. Somebody being single is very important to me, and you have to be available. And above all, you have to be smarter than me.
I know what
You have to be more intelligent.
That's a tough ask.
No,
because you're very smart. So how are we going to do this
because
one?
you see that what I don't understand is when I'm trying to explain myself to you about things that interest me, and you have no interest, and you tell me, "Oh, you're thinking too much. Women don't think like that. You have to be this. You have to do that." And I think I want to. Let's work together and learn together. So this is why I just thought, okay, fair enough. Be an agony and talk to children and say, "Look, watch out for this. This is time to move. This is time to not move."
Yeah, no, that kind of makes sense because the thing about it, and I think a lot of women take reprioritization for granted. They don't do that because they don't reassess their lives. Because even when I say, even for someone who's divorced, the person you were before you got married is not the person you are after you get
After divorce, yeah.
You're a new person, and you need to know what it is that you like.
Yes.
What do you want?
Exactly.
So because you want, and it's not even an age thing, it's an experience thing. You are a bit jaded for the one that your marriage failed. So you have to reassess, what are you looking for? What do you want? What are the things that thrill you? What are the things you want to experience? What is the kind of man that you're looking for now? And most times we don't. We now go back for the same person before, and then you're wondering why the problem is happening. Because you're no longer there. You're a completely
You
new
haven't
person.
reassessed yourself and worked out, why the last didn't work, what could have make it work, and how you can actually change that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
You
it's
have to
a
do
question. It's very important. I think you actually made a very valid point: rescheduling, reprioritizing, and then being sure about what you want. Because at that stage, there are certain things you can't physically do, so you rule that out. And
The
then-
knees are locking.
Yes, so you need to rule. Yeah, you need to rule those out and be, find somebody who understands you, who accepts you for who you are. Because sometimes people, some women will say, "Oh my God, I'm getting older. All my friends are married or in relationships, and I'm not. I'm going to grab anybody that is out there. Just be."
So they
and
just
then
settle.
You just settle, and then you settle. Every time you want to come home, it's like a war zone. You don't really want to come home. You want to be sure that he's sleeping because you don't want arguments and everything. Is it really worth it? And if you were looking for children and you've passed the age where you could have children, what are your arrangements for children? Do you want to adopt a child? And is this person prepared to adopt a child? For me now, adopting a child or having a child is no, because I can't cope. I know that I can't cope. So these are things that people need to think about, and there must be discussions.
Yes.
When the relationship gets strong and you think that two of you are interested in one thing, you need to have that conversation. See what makes everybody happy, what they
Going
want.
forward.
Yeah, going forward. But don't just assume that when you get married to him, if you tell him this, he will change. Or if I tell her this, she will change. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that
So
way.
we've it looks like we've accepted or agreed that there's a very clear difference. I didn't start off thinking that way, but there's a clear difference between settling and reshuffling priorities. And it
Yes.
sounds like settling is usually attached to either a goal or a desperate situation,
Pretty much.
which can also apply to reshuffling, but not as drastic or not necessarily.
Yeah, I think not as drastic because because you're making one is conscious and one is unconscious. So one of it you're being intentional about what it is you're now doing. You've thought about, say, okay, you know what, that 6 foot man I can manage 5'9". It's not too bad.
We'll figure it out.
Figure it
Or
out.
you may have worked out that all 6-footers are just stupid people. Yeah,
Head in the cloud.
like I have this thing. I don't really like handsome guys because I've had a few of them in the past, and I can see that a lot of them are into their looks. One said to me that he's a model quality and that every woman wanted him. So I said, that's beautiful. Why don't you go for them? Why are you looking for me? I am not interested. You go to them. So he found it quite difficult to understand why I wasn't interested, but every other woman was interested. So when you're thinking about it, you need to also look at things that will put you off, things you can manage, and if they're presenting with that sort of attitude and you can't cope with that, just let them go.
From the jump.
But you
Okay.
said to anybody that asks you, say, will you be my wife?
You just
You just go because you have a goal or you're desperate for whatever. And it's sometimes the desperation doesn't come from your own fault. It's just people
Life,
around you
yeah.
and life.
Like,
So
yeah.
you just kind of like, okay, because some people will say, but that one is this, that one is that one's available, and you're like, the clock is going.
it's ticking.
no.
It's ticking fast, and you're
Let's
still
go.
you're still
Yes,
let's
yes,
just
yes,
take it.
still
Still
making,
there, yes.
yes, still making choose. That kind of thing. So, and
Yeah.
I think that's different. But I suppose ultimately, you're giving up something. It's obviously you're giving
Yeah.
up something. Definitely.
yeah.
Whether you're reshuffling,
Whether you're settling.
yeah,
Yeah.
giving up something.
And you'd be so
True.
surprised that whoever you're going to settle down with is also reshuffling and giving up a few things.
Yeah, to be with you. Especially as we all get older. And
And fatter.
and fatter and set in our ways.
Yeah.
Who says we're getting fatter? Stop
Poor
it.
girl.
Well,
Putting up with these crazy women.
But seriously, let
Who
me
says we're getting fatter? Yeah, true.
But it's true
And
now.
it's interesting you say that the other person too, maybe. Because sometimes you're just thinking about, well, for me, I think that when this topic has come up a few times, I feel like I've just been thinking about myself. In the reshuffling thing, forgetting that the other person too
needs something that makes
reshuffling,
that we are
or settling,
or settling, yeah.
See, I don't want to not settle. Please, do not make.
But you may not
I don't
know.
want to-
You
please,
may
they
not
should
know.
never tell me, even if it's true.
No one. I don't think anybody tells anybody who I'm settling with you unless their
One bad person
unless
now,
their mouth is.
they'll argue, now the next thing they say, and
True.
you see, look at you, I settled for you.
It's true. It's true.
Alright.
It's true. Then that
Please don't
person.
tell me, thank
That
you.
person's not. That person's nasty.
Yeah, but it's true. Actually, that's true. You never, and that's the thing. I suppose we don't really think from the other person's perspective.
Yeah.
We only think about looking at things from our own lens. We don't think of the other person. Say, okay, they have done some reprioritization as well.
What did they have to do?
Yeah, and then that sometimes causes friction because even with that, you're also learning something new because what was so important to you is now you're like, okay, and I have to look beyond your physicalities. I have to look at your heart. But I'm not even sure how to deal with the heart that I'm asking for. Say.
Yeah.
So you know,
True.
so it brings about that kind of friction where you're also having to learn those reprioritization.
Those are those are your new the things that have gone up on your list.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that because as you do this priority thing, you have to then know how to manage those things that were at the bottom that you've now brought to the top, and how to cope with those things at the top that you push down.
So.
This relationship thing is not easy.
I know. And you see where we are now in today's world, a lot of women are making their own money.
Yes.
So they're no longer fazed by the fact that a man is not rich or he does not he doesn't have connections and everything. For me, you don't have to be rich to be with me. You have to have the potential to be rich if this is what I'm looking for. And being rich doesn't intimidate me. Being happy and comfortable is what is important to me. And if you don't have, we work on it together. And if that is what he wants, you may be surprised that he doesn't want to be rich. He just wants to be happy and that's it. So long as he brings in enough to pay the rent and pay the mortgage and you can travel and go on holiday, he's happy. He's not very interested. He's done all of that and he just wants a peaceful life. So, priorities change, but it's important that you both know what you want.
If you were making faces, what was it that Jenny said that made your face change? I mean,
Not having money.
No, it's not not having money. Well, I mean,
not
not
wanting
having
to
money
be
is not having money is relative. It's the potential. I'm sorry, and everybody's free to disagree with me. At my age now, I cannot be with a man that's still in his potential. That's my age mate. Why are you still in your potential? Unless you did some pivot in your business, you were doing something fine, you're trying something new. But to tell me that, bro, at 50, you're still potentially,
you're still
it's
trying.
going to be hard for me. Let me not lie.
No, but I met this guy many years ago. He was working in Wall Street, and he said that he realized that he was in the wrong profession. It wasn't what he wanted to be. He loved to go around looking at architectural drawings, buildings, the library, and all of that. So he then decided at the age of 52 to go and do architecture. So he had money, but he didn't have so much money because he was doing something that he wanted to do that will make his life better and complete.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
See, that's
So
what I'm saying.
that's why the potential is still there.
I would ask for the history because
He's already peaked
he's
at one
already
point.
peaked at one point, and he's saying, you know what, and I understand the whole about well-being and saying, my work-life balance, and I want to do something that I understand. I have no problem with that, and you can still take care of yourself. But you see the people that they've been handing potential since
we keep
still potentialing. Those ones are the ones
it
that
ain't happening.
I'm not
Confused.
I'm a bit uncomfortable with that because I'm just like, when will your potential be?
When will it ripen? When will it be ripe?
Materialize.
Because then we might live with potential, and while I'm doing my thing, because rightly or wrongly, you know how you say that you want a man that is smarter than you because I have to look up to you. If you're still in
Exactly.
potential, how is that going to? For me, I need something to look at. You don't have to. It's not about being rich. You could be the best at your field, but you're not the richest person. As you said, you have enough money to live our lives. You have a pension load. We have our plan in place. We don't have to be extraordinarily rich. But I want to look at you and be like, when I talk to you, you give me something that I can't get from anywhere else.
And I like, for instance, like I like to set up this microphone. I'm not a tech person, and you're here, and I say, "Oh, darling, do you know how to do this?" You can say, "Okay, don't worry. You read it up, you fix it up." It makes me
Yeah.
in another world.
You see us women, we're easy. These men don't even understand.
Like that.
Since I don't even understand
But
those simple
if I
things.
tell you and say, oh, I don't know how to do this.
And you say, I don't either.
Maybe you need to phone somebody to come and. But please look at it and see what I have
Try.
done. Why did I get it wrong? Try and then let's work on
Exactly.
it. But if you're one of those people that say, oh, those things. I have a friend, her husband comes into the UK on holiday and then he will call me and say, oh, can you call those gas people because my heater is not working? And I say, have you checked the thermostat on the wall? What is that? I don't know what it is. And then you send somebody around to go and help them. It was just for him to look at the thermostat and that was it. And you pay call-out money.
See?
I can't deal with that. I need you to look at it first and say, I think it's this. It might be this that is not working.
Yeah.
So that's when I say
We're
he's smarter
strong
than me.
women, but still, man.
Yeah.
So
we like to be vulnerable when we can't.
Yeah.
Yes,
I need a man that
But
you
the
know,
village is sweet, so me, self, I'm even tired.
Yeah.
To be strong is not a.
It's like when someone says to me, oh, where do you want to go? I'm like, bro, I make decisions every day in my life.
You figure it out, please.
Where we are going to eat.
Yes.
I just want to turn up.
yes.
If possible, order the food. Tell me what I just really just want to turn it the decision making off.
I have
For
a break.
bit and have
Yes.
a break.
Yeah.
I'm making decision in my household every single day. I'm making it
single
at
day.
work.
Please, please.
Take the wheel.
You give me a surprise. Say,
Take the wheel.
What are you doing? Let's go and eat. There's this nice restaurant in the city. I've heard about it. I haven't been. Do you know about it? Let's go. And then what is the dress code? And we're all excited. We go, we come, and all of that. It doesn't have to be big money thing. But somebody that you can even go and find that you get, oh, those your city days are over. You stop looking at those things that are not necessary. Can't you cook?
Hey, please, Jenny, please. Please. The can't you cook has already put me in a different.
Can't you cook?
It's already changed my
Yeah,
mood.
I'm tired of cooking every day. I'm tired of eating out every day. You need to cook. And I said, look, I don't feel up to it because it's not my thing. But when I feel up to it, I'll deal with it. But let's go and eat out. Or they just say, I'm not eating out today.
Oh, I don't eat outside.
Yeah. I think relationships, as you get older, relationships,
They get
new
harder.
relationships, they can be harder because everybody is set in their way. Everybody
their
has
ways,
their own
yeah.
issues. Everybody is jaded. Everybody. So, yeah.
But I believe that there is a bit of love there and understanding. We begin to make shifts to
Of course.
accommodate each other.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah, being set in our ways won't get in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a bit of love there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
can. Yeah.
And I always insist, I know that things happen, priorities change, and people want to just be with somebody, companionship, there must be appreciation, tolerance, and love. Then gradually build on it. But if there's none, and it's just like, I'm tired of being single, let me bring somebody into my life. Or he says, oh, I'm tired of chasing after these women, they're not interested. Since she's available, let's settle down. It takes a little time. You begin to find out that she wakes up in the morning and she doesn't want to get out of bed. So you need to make your own tea. And the
cracks start showing.
Yeah, the cracks start showing. So it's always important to talk things through and know what everybody's expecting.
And I think another thing is that we lack appreciation of each other. We take it for granted that you're a man, so therefore you do that. I'm a woman, therefore I do it. It's like nobody has to do anything for anybody.
You owe me nothing and I owe
Exactly.
you nothing.
So you should appreciate whatever it is that's being done.
He's bringing
from
on the
big
table,
things
she's
to
bringing
To
on
the
the
small
table.
things. Yeah.
Everything we need to appreciate whether you settled or reprioritized or whatever the case may be. Appreciation. I for me personally, maybe a different topic. Appreciation. I feel appreciation is greater than love. Safe. In my personal.
Yeah.
Appreciation is greater than love.
No, if there is appreciation and all of that, with time, love
But
will
you can
come.
love someone and take them for granted.
Yeah.
True.
Take them for granted.
That's interesting. I have to think about this properly.
And
That's really
I
interesting.
think
I've never thought about that.
loving somebody and taking them for granted is because there is no respect. You don't respect what they're giving. If you respect what they're giving, you shouldn't be feeling that way.
But then you
Oh my God! Look how we've.
see our brain is working.
Our brain is working. No, I appreciate it. Yeah.
And that is why I'm an advocate of when you no longer feel the way you feel about someone, you tell them and let it go. Yeah, and I hate the fact that I say to you, I don't really want to be in this relationship anymore because things are changing. I don't feel the way I used to feel. And I don't want us to fall out. I want us to remain friends. So think about it so that we can, we just remain friends. And the man was, what do you mean by that? You're not trying enough and all of that. if you really want to know, you need to find out. And someone can just simply say, you haven't done anything to me. It's just that I'm tired of being in a relationship. I'd like to be in my own company.
Yeah.
And you leave it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not do or die.
I like how you talked about, we can just stay friends. That's a topic for another day.
I love to
Whether
stay
we can be
friends.
friends with our exes.
Oh, I love to stay friends with
That's
exes,
good.
yeah.
That's a very interesting topic.
But a lot of
for another day.
Niger guys don't like it. If we are no longer intimate, we are not friends. But I love to remain. And in my life, I have more male friends than female friends.
See, that's an interesting subject, and he's right. It's good to be explored because I think that a lot of relationships are suffering from that, whether knowingly or unknowingly, because people think differently about it. Because
Yes.
Okafor's law exists, though. Just hashtag just saying.
I think this has to be our next topic because
Yes, so-
this has been coming up. So the next topic we're going to do for whatever is, should we stay friends with our exes? We'll do that stroke. Can women and men
Be
be
friends.
friends?
Without being sexual.
That is the next. That's the next. That will be our next topic.
Look forward to that.
Yes.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, that will be our next one. And hopefully we'll have one or two men join in so that we can hear their take.
There are guys I speak to, some of them are married, and sometimes when I call, the wives will just say, oh, your friend is calling. And we just chat and we have a big laugh. And then when they call me, they say, oh, your boyfriend said this. We just laugh. They know that there's nothing going on. We're just friends. But some people think that so long as you're friends, something must be happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm one person as well. You need to be very careful as well to know when you are crossing the boundaries. Yeah. And then put a stop.
Another thing is also knowing how to put boundaries.
Yes.
Some people don't know how to
set
put
boundaries. Yes.
So that's it. I'm excited now. That's going to be our next topic.
Okay.
So ladies, yes, we've talked about this settling and reshuffling our priorities and the difference and whether there's a difference and what makes us do whatever. And I've really enjoyed this one. This one hits close. I've really enjoyed it.
And I suppose it also a good thing about this conversation is that it went places that we didn't think it would go. So we kind of started off from what we thought we would be, but actually we brought it from different perspectives and which would be food for thought for people that are listening, because they will probably have a fixed idea of what they think it is, but by listening to all of us, and because we've all come from different perspectives, kind of gives them an opportunity to think about it and then form their own opinion of whether whatever they're doing going forward is settling, me prioritizing, whatever the case
Or whatever. Yeah.
None in between.
Jenny and Iphie, thank you so much for
Welcome.
always being honest. And that's the thing. And that's why I love you ladies, because you're honest. And, you just speak your minds. And that's it's very rare to find, to be honest.
No,
Especially amongst
nothing to
ladies.
hide, because if you're hoping that people are going to learn from what you're saying, you need to be open and honest. There are people who share our views and ideas, but they don't know how to express it, and they're worried about people judging them based on that. So you will reassure them that they're not wrong. There are other people feeling that way, and there may be those people who may want to send us anonymous comments and saying, "Oh, what about this? Do you want to discuss this? Because I'm interested."
Yes. Any last words, Iphie, before we...
No, I just think, at the end of the day is be intentional, whatever choices that you're making. Your life is yours to live. Don't let another person make a decision for you, because ultimately you're going to be the bearer of the consequences.
Yeah.
So,
And you're right, being intentional, whether you're intending to settle or intending to reshuffle, to at least know what you're doing and your reasons for doing that.
and be aware of it. Because if you're aware of it, anything that comes your way doesn't shock you.
Yeah, true.
And, as I always say to people, especially in marriages, a lot of people marry because they're old enough to be married and everybody around them is getting married. So let me manage who I have. Management has no place in a relationship. And marriage doesn't make you happy. So in order to be in a marriage or relationship, you have to be happy to be in that relationship, not married or in a relationship to be happy. Relationships and marriages have their own challenges, but if you're happy to be there, you can weather the storm together.
True. Yeah. That's important. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, this is us for today's episode. Please like, comment, share, invite your friends. Let us know what you think. Put your comments in the comment section. You can DM me, whatever, but interact with us, because then we know what people want to talk about, and your views as well. And Iphie and Jenny, you guys know I'm going to keep calling you. because sometimes we talk for hours. So this is fantastic. I'm so happy to have you. So guys, until next time, next episode will be in 2 weeks. Until then, take care, peace and love.